Hello everyone. Today I thought about bringing another demo from an Otome game. It's another project that it's not finished. It's called Andromeda Six, and I really do think that this game only had 6 characters, but now they have a 7th one. I think they added another one. In terms of like a disclaimer, I think this is rated, I don't know, probably like 17, because for what I read on the description of the game, it doesn't seem to have like that type of adult scenes. It has some description, but I don't think it has scenes. We'll see it. Also, I've just entered a bit the game, and I still don't know, being honest in here, I still don't know if I'm going to be comfortable with this game. It has to do with the layout that they decided to use in here, and I'll tell a bit more about it. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like a bit discomforting, like I think. I'm talking about the colors that they've put it in there. They are not very comfortable to read. My personal opinion. So I'm going to enter the name, Irina. I am a she. We can choose a species. We have Tilari, and they all have like some differences in here. Tilari, a gentle and intelligent alien race dedicated to their medical studies and nurturing way of life. Then we have humans, the most common of all species, renowned for their scientific advances and engineering. And we have Kitolfin, I think it's Kitolfin, yeah. A humanoid race gifted with the ability to live both on land or water. This unique species easily adapts to their chosen habitat. I think I'm going to try, I don't think I want to start with the human. Let's try the Tilari one. Episode 1, Error 404. Okay, yeah, so this is what I saw. And let me just tell you something. This probably has nothing to do with just this game. It has to do with a lot of games that we have currently and that are being developed to the PC. I always feel that this part in here, it's kind of like the font is kind of tiny and straining for my eyes. I think we could have a better ratio here in terms of graphics and distribution of things. And we could actually have a better font in here in terms of size. But I also know that there are a lot of people that prefer to play in the PC with this type of font or even tinier. Why? Because they have really huge screens. And I have both. I have a normal size one and a really big one. And I, for myself, my personal opinion, I always feel like for me, this is tiny. Okay. Also, because I've messed a bit with the options in here, I noticed that I cannot do nothing about it. I cannot enlarge it. Also, I cannot do nothing about the text box, which is something that kind of annoys me. I wanted to do something about this text box because I don't feel very comfortable reading with this pattern in here on the back. Reason why I'm telling you that we are going to do this, but I don't know if this is going to be something, if it's going to be a demo that I'm going to take till the end or not. I might feel like I'm already starting to feel discomfort with this, and I'm going to stop here. I also know that this one is going to be long because I think it already has like 8 chapters or so. So, as I said, we'll see if we're going to take this further or we're just going to do a bit and that's it. So, let's start. My eyes crack open slowly, one and then the other. In an instant, I'm blinded by the fluorescent lights that make my head pound, and at once I regret the action. From the heaviness that settled in my bones, I feel as though I've been asleep for a century, and with a long groan, I manage to push myself up on my elbows and clumsily survey my surroundings. See, another thing that I notice in here is like spacing. See, like spacing between the lines. It's very thin. I needed more space in here between the lines. It's kind of messy for me to be reading like this. As I said, my own experience, my own opinion. Where the hell am I? I find myself in a small room. Metal walls, a desk and some shelves. 2 closed doors. Overall, the place looks quite bare and not at all familiar. I press a hand to my head in an attempt to stifle the pain, and a streak of panic tears through me. Streak of panic tears through me. My heart begins to race, my mind attempting to sift through all the possible reasons I could be here in this foreign place with no memory of how I got here. And the more I think, the more my brain thumps painfully against my skull. Why can't I remember anything? It takes some effort to push myself into a sitting position, my muscles protesting each small movement. I feel as though an entire building has fallen on me. I attempt to stand, but something makes me pause, a kind of wiring that emanates through the room, and then a sudden lurch of movement that has my legs buckling beneath me, sending me tumbling back onto the bed with a crash. Yeah, very hard for me to read this, very hard. The way it is done, the way this text box is done is just kind of messy for me. It's going to be a hassle, yeah. My breath sticks in my throat, panic and confusion rising in me like a wave. What the hell is going on? The door opposite the bed hisses and shifts, sliding back into the wall as it opens, and my fight and flight reflex takes hold of me. Shuffle back into the corner, stand to meet the intruder. I don't want to act like a scaredy cat, so I push myself to my feet, but my legs are so unsteady that almost at once my ass is crashing back down to the mattress. I settle instead for glaring towards the door darkly, Perhaps if I make myself seem menacing, I can gain the upper hand and fight my way out of here. Are you okay? You should be careful, you might hurt yourself. I glare at the man who enters the room, assessing him thoroughly. He's so tall that his head almost touches the top of the door frame. He gives me a small, awkward smile through it, though it doesn't do much to calm me. Apologies, I should have knocked. I track him as he moves across the room, and the metal chair beneath the desk scrapes across the floor as he sets it closer to the bed. Also, I can really feel that the English in here is a bit more, I would say, a bit more difficult for people that aren't very familiar with English. That's another thing that I'm noticing. It is okay. I'm not like, it is okay. It's a little bit more lyrical. How should I put it? It is a bit more lyrical. Okay, it has a type of description that I would say that it's made for more orientated for people that have English as mother tongue. I honestly can feel it because it's not my mother tongue, and I can feel the way it is written. Yeah. He sits and faces me, leaning forward with his arms rested on his knees and that tight smile still plastered on his face. How are you feeling? Like, I don't actually know. I just gotten here, you know. I'm not fine. I don't think I'm in pain. Do I want to say that I'm scared when I try to just like, you know, stand there and defy him? Maybe not, right? What if I say nothing? I look the man over from his gentle half smile to his casual posture. Not knowing if I can trust him, I choose to say nothing at all. With a small nod, he seems to accept this. You know, I was worried about you after... He cuts himself off abruptly, his eyes flickering as though he's not sure he should have said that at all. After what? The silence that hangs between us feels decidedly awkward, his hesitation obvious by the way he fidgets with the bracelets around his wrists. I'll get you some water. Do you want some? I nod slowly, my eyes still narrowed on him. He stands and heads over to the desk, where I notice a pitcher of water and a glass. Something happened, something big. I can tell them much, but somehow I can't remember what. He pours a glass and hands it to me, and I drink deep, the cold water soothing my scratchy throat. It's kind of like how I've been feeling in here lately. Because, like, when you're streaming for hours and hours and hours, your vocal cords, you know, start to feel it. Your throat kind of starts to get sore. Not the situation with her. I'm just talking about myself. When I'm done, I set the glass aside and turn to him again, deciding to take the questioning into my own hands. Who are you? Where am I? Am I a prisoner? Okay, before assuming that we are a prisoner, because I would probably assume that too, and before even trying to understand who he is, I want to know where we are. Where am I exactly? You can tell me that much, can't you? He hesitates a moment before his demeanor seems to shift. Yes, of course I can. You are on a ship, the Andromeda Six, and my name's June, by the way. Well, that explains the movement I felt earlier. We are on a ship. Am I a prisoner here? What? No, of course you're not. You were injured when we found you. We brought you on the ship to patch you up. Injured? How? Hey, what's your name? I open my mouth to tell him my name, but I come up short. What is my name? I have a name. I feel it there on the tip of my tongue, but every time I reach out for it, it escapes me. I'm not sure. I mean, I have a name. I just can't remember it for some reason. June frowns, and the familiar feeling of the panic begins to bubble up inside me. I should be able to remember something as simple as my own name. Closing my eyes, I try to coax the knowledge from my memories. I can feel it lingering on the edge of my thoughts, and I know it's close, hidden behind the mist in my mind. Nothing. Why can't I remember? My throat tightens at realization. Not remembering how I got here is one thing, but not knowing my own name. All the names that cross my mind feel foreign, not only of them standing out as mine. Not one of them standing out as mine, sorry. Panic begins to sear my lungs, constricting my throat. It's very hard for me to read this. Panic begins to sear my lungs, constricting my throat, leaving me gasping for breath. It's the pattern, it's the pattern behind it. It's kind of messing with my mind. It's also not in here, but when they have like several lines in here, it kind of messes with me. Hey, don't panic, look at me. June shuffles his chair closer to the bed, his eyes locked on mine. He takes a deep breath in through his nose, releasing it slowly through his mouth. With a hand, he gestures for me to do the same. After a few breaths in and out, the tightness in my chest begins to ease and cool air floods my lungs. That's it. Good job. Now close your eyes and relax. Just keep breathing through it. I hesitate, but I follow his instructions. Closing my eyes, I roll my shoulders and let out a deep, shuddering breath. I know my name. It's here somewhere. Don't try to force it. Focus on clearing your mind. Let it come to you. His voice washes over me like a balm, soothing and healing my fractured nerves. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Ever so slowly my mind empties. The darkness it leaves behind like an endless abyss, waiting to be filled. After a few more moments, something clicks into place, like the download button in my brain has regained power once again. Trying to hold all other thoughts at bay, I part my lips and speak the one word that hangs like a neon light in the back of my mind. Irina. Irina, that's my name. A breath of fresh air washes over me, the frustration beginning to recede. I try to push my mind a little further, a last name or even my home. But the more I try, the more the black hole of my memories suck me into nothingness. Nothing comes to mind, not even the slightest inkling. I decide not to push it any more for now. My first name will have to do. Slowly I open my eyes again, a smile tugging at my lips as my eyes fall upon June and that contagious, lopsided grin of his. I'm Irina. June grins wider, and it's one of those smiles that reaches his eyes and wrinkles the skin beside them. See, like the way this is described, like it's for people that are very accustomed with English. Like I noticed that in a lot of phrases in here. It's a pleasure to meet you, Irina. Do you remember anything else? I search my mind, every darkened crevice and corner, but come up short. No. June lets out a sigh, as if it burdens him to be the one to tell me whatever comes next. This might not be easy to hear. There was an attack on the palace in Siltavie? Maybe that? On the planet Goldis. I found you unconscious nearby. A bridge had collapsed. Well, it had been destroyed, actually. Our medic healed what she could, but we never expected memory loss to be a factor. Perhaps you lived around the area. Does any of this sound familiar to you? I recall the city of Siltavie, I think it's like that, capital of the planet Goldis, but did I live there? Do I have a life there or a family waiting for me? My mind seems bathed in darkness, coming up blank with each attempt to remember my past. I'm sorry, I remember the city, but nothing past that. June nods as he thinks, absently fidgeting with the bracelets around his wrists. It could be some type of short-term memory loss. We'll have our medic look over you again. If you remember where you're from, we can help get you back there. There must be someone waiting for you. There isn't. Oh, she's quite sure about it. The words leave my mouth before I can stop them, but somehow I know it's true. And even if it isn't, what good would it be if I can't even remember them? June shifts in his chair, but I cut in before he has the chance to say more. All I know right now is my name. I have you to thank for that. It's a start, right? I check on my bottom lip anxiously. I chew on my bottom lip anxiously. This is going to be hard for me. I chew on my bottom lip anxiously, feeling his eyes flicker over me and knowing that he's not fooled by the casual act. An uneasiness settles in my stomach, and I think that perhaps I'm more shaken up than I've let on. The only consolation is that June seems worried enough for the both of us. Like, I don't think the issue in here for me is the font. I don't think it's the font chosen here. It's honestly the size. I mean, it's more the size and the background of the text box that it's influencing me. But dyslexian type of font in here could be good for people like me that is having like this issue, this problem. It could be like a good recommendation, I would say. Uh, I'll take you to see your medic. She'll be able to help you far better than I can. June extends a hand to help me stand, and when I take it, his skin is surprisingly warm, a stark contrast to the chill of the air-conditioned ship. I suppose he's like a human. I don't know how they look like in their different species, but I don't know, maybe he's just a human. Despite the roughness of his skin and the calluses on his fingers, his touch is gentle. For a moment, I think I might be okay to stand on my own, but when I let go of his hand, my legs buckle beneath me. Letting out a yelp, I fall backwards for only a second before a strong arm wraps around my waist, holding me up. Irina, are you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. If you wanted to get closer, you could have asked. Nice catch. I don't even know if I want to be flirting here. For me, the beginning of any visual novel is always, you have a lot of these, like, you have to give like a response of I'm already interested, when for me it's more like I need to know people before I'm going to be flirty with them. I mean, of course you might see someone that interests you, you know, a zap, or you don't say a zap, you say ASAP. But I mean, I wouldn't say that it's the case in here, so I don't know, I'm just going to say yes, I'm okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so I know you say ASAP, and I tend to just say it like that because it's easier for me to just say a zap. But I know it doesn't actually exist. I just say it like that. So do not mind me. Do not mind me. It was a thing that I picked from playing games, MMOs. And in Europe, there were some people that would just say a zap, and I kind of picked that. And I know it's not like that. It's ASAP. I just say it like that because it was something that I got from games, you know. Do not mind me if I say it again. Yeah, I'm okay. June keeps his arm around me until I'm confident I can stand on my own, and even after he lingers close by until I'm balancing on my own 2 feet. That was a close one, thanks. Don't mention it. I'm cut short when the lights above us blink on and off and the ship lurches, prompting June to steady me with a hand on my arm once again. What was that? Oh, technical issues. What kind of technical issues? I raise an eyebrow at him. The last thing I need is to be stranded on a broken starship with no memory. One crisis at a time, thank you very much. It's nothing to worry about. Come on, I'll take you to the infirmary. I follow June out of the room and down a short corridor, where he stops in front of a set of blue transparent double doors. Transparent double doors, okay? It's like a projection or something. This is where I leave you. I should probably get to the bridge before all hell breaks loose. Also, something is going on. The alarm must show on my face because he shakes his head and chuckles softly. Nothing to worry about. Head on in and Riona will take care of you. Thank you, June. He pauses for a moment, giving me a strange look that I can't quite place, and then just as quickly it's gone. You are welcome, Irina. I'll see you again soon. He smiles gently before he turns and disappears down the corridor, and I turn to the door in front of me, the doors in front of me. I enter the infirmary as cautious and quiet as a rabbit avoiding a trap, not quite knowing what to expect. After getting to know June a little, I can only come to the conclusion that he's a good guy, and it seems like he was telling the truth about me not being a prisoner here. But honestly, like, this would be the type of conclusion that I wouldn't reach. Yeah, I would be more cautious. I would be more like, I still don't know what's going on here. I don't know if I can trust these people. I don't know what I'm doing in here or what happened. So I probably wouldn't be like her. The first thing I notice as I pace through the infirmary is the smell. It smells clean, but not in that sterile medical way. Then in what way? More like dewy grass and fresh rain. Really, like the open air and sky. It reminds me of a cool spring morning, though I can't recall having ever experienced one. If you've never experienced one, how do you know how it is? I don't know. It's almost homey. Oh, you are awake. The voice that startles me is surprisingly soft, and my head tilts to follow the sound. The woman who approaches me is Tilari. Okay, so we kind of look like this, apparently. I see it. It's Tilari by the look of her luminescent skin and her bright yellow eyes. My chest warms with a feeling of familiarity. I'm not the only one. I'm Riona. It's good to finally see you up and about. You had us worried for a while there. You're the one who's been looking after me? She smiles, and there's something so calming about it that it suits me right down to my aching bones. I'm reluctant to let my guard down so easily, but her presence hardly inspires fear. Yes, I'm the medic here. And your name is? Irina. Pleasure to meet you, Irina. Please take a seat. Let's have a look at you. She gestures with long, thin fingers toward the medical chair that's positioned in the center of the room, and I follow her instruction, crinkling the sheet of plastic beneath me as I sit. So, how are you feeling? I have a pretty bad headache, but apart from that, I think I'm okay. June didn't give you any of the painkillers I gave him. I swear that man would lose his head if it wasn't attached to his shoulders. Okay, so he's like a airheaded type of guy, probably. She huffs as she opens a cabinet and digs around it. Then she pours a glass of water, coming over to hand me the drink and a couple of small white pills. Honestly, it was good that it was like this, because if he had given me the pills, I would probably be like, why are you giving me pills, As when you are faced with a medic, you are more prone to actually accept that type of thing, right? Here, take this. They'll help with the pain. For a moment, I hesitated, thinking it's probably not the best idea in the world to take pills from a stranger. But in the end, the pain in my head wins out. I take the pills, feeling the relief from them almost immediately as I set the glass aside. Oh my God, give me those pills, because when I do have migraines and headaches, it's terrible. And I take a pill, and only like after 2 hours, I feel relieved. So give me those pills right now. I want those. Thinks that's much better. I hesitate, and she cocks her head to the side, watching me curiously. Is there something else? Well, I haven't been able to remember much aside my name. I see. Rihanna grabs a long silver wand from a nearby table and holds it in front of me. Silver wand. Okay. May I? I nod, and she lights the tip with a swish, shining the blue lights on the end in my eye. Oh, okay. Into my eyes, one after the other. Just trying to understand. I suspected you had a concussion when they brought you in here. You seem to have hit your head rather hard. I cleaned it up and lasered the wound back together, but I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do for memory loss. She inspects the old wound next, and her fingers are cool against my scalp. She gives an approving hum at whatever she finds there. Have you noticed any issues with your vision or coordination? The silver wand is pressed gently inside my ear before Rihanna pulls it back out and inspects the strange illuminated symbols on the side. My balance was a little off at first. Since then, apart from the memory thing, I've been feeling fine. Rihanna holds the wand in front of my face vertically, and a blue light washes over me, blinking for a few seconds before it dissipates entirely. When I follow her gaze to the screen behind me, the images have changed, depicting a series of numbers and icons I don't understand. Your scans are relatively normal aside from some bruising here and there, though that's to be expected. She stands back and studies me carefully, her nose crinkled slightly in thought. Physically, you are healing well. If you've already remembered your name, my best guess would be a mild case of retrograde amnesia. Amnesia. Yes, it's more common than you may think following a head injury, though I can't say that every patient heals in the same way. Amnesia is such a used theme. It is, though, for games, for anime, it's really used. But it will heal, won't it? Rihanna gives me a sad smile, and it's only now that I can tell she's just as unsure as I am. Only time will tell, but perhaps if I ask you some questions, they might trigger a memory. It's worth a shot. Let's see, we'll start with something easy. Where did you live? I don't know. Am I going to say that we came from Goldie's when she wasn't sure about it? I mean, they got her from there, but that doesn't mean that she's from there. So, a big city. No. She was talking about the freshness of the air and seeming to be homey. So, not a big city. I would say, I don't know. I try once more to come up with some glimpse of my past, but it's to no avail. My mind seems as though it has a thick layer of fog covering it, and it refuses to part. I don't know. My frustration must show on my face because Riona gives me an encouraging smile. It's all right, let's try another question. Do you have any siblings? I don't know. I don't know that either. Let's role play a bit in here, I suppose. I don't know. I'm going to say that I had one. I don't know. Yeah, I had one. I think I had one. A brother, maybe. No, wait. I had a sister. Okay. A feminine presence comes to mind, but her face is blur. Still, when I think of her as my sister, it feels right. Yes, I had a sister. That's something we have in common. Do you remember her name? I try to push further, but the more I do, the more my mind closes up. No, I'm sorry. Don't be. You are already making good progress. Don't push yourself too hard. We can try again later. I nod and glance around the room, and once again I'm hit by that smell. I notice now that there's something else mixed into it. Something sweet, almost fruity. Can I ask what that scent is? Oh, it's my mister. It's my mister. Riona gestures to a small cylinder-shaped object in the corner of the room, glowing faintly. I can program it to replicate scents. This one is from my home planet, Tilarin. She giggles. I don't know if it's like Tylerin or Tilarin. I don't know. She giggles unexpectedly as if she didn't meant to say that. I guess I'm a little homesick. Could it be like Tylerin? Maybe it's Tylerim. I'm sorry, because, you know, they do not have voice and I don't actually know exactly how to say it. But maybe it's like in the English, more like English way, Tylerin. Yeah, maybe it makes sense. I remember, do you have family there? Did you learn to be a medic there? Okay, sorry, I got interrupted, which is like a common thing, so yeah, there's that. So I remember Tylerin. Do you have family there? Did you learn to be a medic there? Well, this is something that I do expect to be a reality, since from the beginning they were like saying that people from Tylerin were connected to the medic field. So I don't think this serves me much. Do you have family? Okay, let's try to understand a bit more of ourselves and say that we remember. I remember Tylerin somehow. I remember it being beautiful, but I'm not sure I'm not sure that I've even been there. That's a good sign that your memories are still there somewhere. Riona smiles fondly, and when her eyes turn glassy, I imagine she's envisioning her home in her head, her mind. And you are right, it is beautiful. Crystal water, clear skies, green stretching as far as you can see, and dotted all over the planet. Dotted all over the planet are enormous spires, towers that disappear high into the clouds. Each spire can hold an entire city. Hospitals, schools, homes. People think Goldie's is the shining star of the system, but Tylerin is the real jewel. Okay, so these are two different type of planets, I see. If it was that good, why is she on the ship with us? It's more beautiful than this hunk of junk anyway, but don't let the captain know I said that. The captain, huh? I haven't met them yet. Perhaps they can give me some more answers. Why did you leave Tylerin, if you don't mind me asking? She smiled sadly, and I can't help but to feel a little of the emotion myself, sinking into my skin like dew. I wanted to help the people that no one else would. That's kind of you. I wouldn't put it in a flirty way. I mean, you could say that and not being flirty, just pointing out something, you know. Was it worth leaving your home? Were you able to help them? I am kind of curious to understand if her home was that good, why would she leave? I don't mean to pry, but something about her makes me want to know more, to unravel those carefully crafted layers she wears like armor. Was it worth it? Surely being able to see the system, to visit other planets, would be an amazing experience. Yeah, could be that. Yes, it was worth it. It wasn't always easy, but I've seen so many wonderful places. I've helped Kitolfin refugees find homes, saved travelers stranded in asteroid belts, delivered medicine to the slums on Cursa. God, names. I've seen some of the most brutal places in Ciliota, and most of the time those in need thanked us with nothing more than their gratitude, but it was enough. Yeah, this is, I haven't said nothing in the beginning, but this is like a science fiction type of visual novel. And although I refer to it as Otome, it's not just Otome, okay? You can date whomever you want to date in here. And of course, I met wonderful people, some more special than others, even some I can call family now. Her expression softens at that, longing clear in her bright eyes. I miss Tylerin, but the Andromeda Six is my home now. The ship lurches violently, and Riona and I grab hold of the chair, fix it securely to the floor to keep ourselves from flying across the room. Again, what was that? Oh, it may just be a gas cloud. Our pilot is usually good at avoiding them, but sometimes the autopilot veers us too close. I look her over, trying to decipher the truth. Technical issues, a gas cloud. Somehow I get the impression that both of those are a cover, hopefully not for anything worse. Well, we are all done here. Best if you go back to your room and get some rest. Your body hasn't fully recovered. Do you think you can find your way back on your own? I'm sure I'll manage. Okay, that's good. I'll bring you some food and fresh clothes in a little while and check in on how you're doing. Thank you for taking care of me. It's no trouble at all. Now off you go and make sure to rest. I exit the infirmary and head back to the direction June and I had come from to find the room I was in. At least I think it was this way. As I continue walking down the corridor, all of the doors look the same to me, and I realize that I should have let Rihanna show me the way after all. Once again, the lacking of punctuation sometimes. It happens a lot. Because I think people only notice when they are reading. Like when you are reading, you kind of feel like, where are the breaks in here, to proceed. But it's fine. It happens a lot. Even in novels and books, you kind of find this. With no other option, I keep going. The corridors are a mix of metal walls and elaborate circuitry, fluorescent lights, evenly spaced hanging from the ceiling, the occasional patch holding metal sheets together. I look around for some kind of sign, but find nothing, stopping only when I come to the next door. It's larger than the rest of them. It must lead somewhere important. Okay, this is definitely not where I'm meant to be. Curiosity gets the better of me, and while I know I should be resting, per the medic's orders, I can't stop myself from exploring the space. I descend the stairs, passing by crates and various equipment until I notice a small porthole on one of the walls. Stepping closer, I peek through the window, finding the view to be absolutely breathtaking. The vast, dark abyss of the universe is laid bare in front of me, and as I count the stars in the distance, I wonder, am I truly from Goldis? Somewhere out there, the answers wait for me. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in the system lies the key to my true self. My only fear is that it may be unwise for me to go chasing the ghosts of my past. Perhaps this all happened to me for a reason. Perhaps I'll be better off leaving the ghosts buried and start anew. But something tells me, deep down, that I need to know. Well, look who's up and running. It has another color, so it's probably someone that we haven't met yet. I'm startled by a voice behind me and I jump, turning to find the source. Relax, kid, I'm not gonna... Holy shit, is that what all the racket is down here? The man who had previously interrupt me, see, like, there's a pause in here. The man who had previously interrupted me, and a stop in here, steps up to a nearby door, pausing as he studies the panel beside it. See, like the punctuation that I was like talking about. When he turns to me again, he swears under his breath, rubbing a hand over the back of his neck. This is not good. The captain's gonna flip his lid when he hears there's a hole in the cargo hold. I'm sorry, a hole in the what? You mean the ship? Is it safe for us to be here? I can feel the panic rising again, the fear that we could be sucked out into space at any moment, sounding like a very real possibility. The man paces a few steps as he mumbles to himself, looking at the door nervously before turning to me. Don't worry, that door is airtight. I'm more worried about the Lotalis? I think it's Lotalis. The Lotalis supply we had stored in there. Lotalis. When I don't say anything, his lips pull into a tight line. Small fruit only grows on Tylerin. You are a Tylari, aren't you? Surely you know what I'm talking about. I shrug my shoulders and he lets out a defeated sigh. Dot gets cranky without her special fruit, and you do not want to see her when she's cranky. Come on, let's head to the bridge. We can chat on the way. He turns briskly, and I debate running in the opposite direction before I think better of it, and I'm forced to jog to catch up with him. I follow the man up the stairs and back into the corridor where he's waiting for me, a friendly smile curving his lips. I'm Bash, by the way. You got a name? Irina. Pleasure. So, Irina, how the hell did you end up in the middle of the coop on Goldis? The coop? I don't remember. You don't remember how you got there? I don't remember anything, well, except my name. June helped me with that. He smiles at that and thinks it over for a moment before he speaks again. Well, that's brilliant. Think about it. It's not every day you get to make up a brand new identity. You want to pick a new name? If you do it quickly, I won't tell anyone you swapped it. Not that there's anything wrong with the name you've got, but think of all of the choices. I stare at him stunned, and after a moment or two, his face drops in realization. Unless you're not happy about that, unless you are not happy about all this shit, I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes my head a few seconds to catch up with my mouth, you know. I actually think it was a good idea. Like, yeah, we could. I mean, why not? It was a good idea. Hey, it was a good idea, truly. And who knows, I might consider it, but only after I figure out a few more things about myself first. Who knows? There might be something worth keeping. He grins, his smile wide and warm, and suddenly I feel like this place might not be so bad. Well, if you need help coming up with new names, let me know. I've got a ton of ideas. And hey, I get it. There's nothing like falling on your ass to make you feel like nothing in this damn world makes sense anymore. If it's any consolation, I've been there once or twice myself. His smile turns sad, and I have a hard time imagining anything in the world bringing down the bundle of energy in front of me. Yeah, he kind of seems like a more optimistic type of guy. My eyes drift to the tattoos flickering over his skin. the ink glowing luminescent under the ship's lights. And then to the bionic arm at his side, a network of metal plates and connectors intrinsically woven together. On closer inspection, I noticed the hastily patched repair job and oil-stained bandages holding parts of it together, and I can't keep a smile from tilting my lips. Do the bionics make you nervous? I snap my gaze to his face, embarrassed at being caught staring, and when he laughs, I can't help but feel like he's laughing at me. Have you never seen bionics before? Your mouth is practically dragging on the floor. No, I've seen them before. I don't know. Maybe I've never seen them up close. Oh, that's it, is it? You're hoping for a closer look. I'm not actually going to roll my eyes, so it's going to be a flirty one. Let's just blush. He waggles his eyebrows at me suggestively. God, every time I come back. And I feel my face flush with heat. You are adorable when you get all flustered, you know that. What? That's not fair. I wasn't expecting you to tease me like that. Bash laughs and walks ahead a little more, saying quietly under his breath, but still loud enough for me to hear. Utterly adorable. We fall into step next to each other, and I trust Bash's knowledge of the ship to lead me to the right place this time. Do your bionics give you any special abilities? Bash flashes his bionic arm in front of him, making a fist and relaxing it again. His face is strange all of a sudden. This is stronger than any old human arm, faster too, crushes steel as easily as a tin can. But the real money maker is this. He gestures to his left eye, giving me the opportunity to study it closer. It's obvious on first glance that there's something different about it. The way it pulses a bright electric yellow makes his right eye, a dark forest green, seem almost dull in comparison. Infrared sight, X-ray vision, advanced targeting, okay? I instinctively move to cover myself, but when he laughs heartedly, I stop, dropping my arms to my side and feeling a little foolish. Yeah, she was like, is he able to see me like naked right now with the X-ray or something? Relax, kid. You'll know when it's activated. It glows red. I laugh at myself, trying to recover from my awkward reaction. And the tattoos? Purely ornamental, though I like to think they add to my overall formidable appearance. An ungraceful snort escapes me before I can stop it, but then I hesitate, deciding how to word the question that's poised on my lips without sounding like I'm digging for the gory details. See, once again, where is the punctuation in here? Where are the breaks in the phrases in here? None. It's common, like I find these a lot, but when I'm narrating or when I'm just simply reading to myself, I see these, like, you need to put punctuation in there. You know, you need to let the the text need to be able to make it breathe. Okay. How did you end up with them? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. It's been fine in a lot of the phrases, but sometimes I feel like there's a lack of it. There's just a lack of it. He grimaces, and I'm immediately aware of how intrusive I'm being. Sorry, you don't have to answer that. I'll make you a deal. When something's worth sharing pops into that head of yours, I'll tell you. All right, you've got a deal. He grins at me, and I find it amazing how he seems to shrug things off so easily, as though his entire being is dedicated to only the good things in life. So, what do you think of our humble abode? Ignoring the fact, of course, that there's a great fucking hole in the cargo hold. I chuckle at the way Bash manages to flip something as serious as a hole in the spaceship to something of mere inconvenience. I haven't seen much of it yet. In fact, before I ran into you, I was pretty lost. No one's giving you a tour? The outrage! You'll think we were a band of bloody savages if you didn't know any better. Have you met the captain yet? No. Bash gives a gives a scoff of a laugh, then shakes his head in amusement. Probably for the best. That man's got a chip on his shoulders like I've never seen before. Just stay clear of his warpath and you'll be okay, kid. Let's see, who else do we have around here? You said you've already met June. Watch out for that pet of his, okay. Sharp teeth and confined spaces are not a good mix, let me tell you now. Don't ask me how I know that. You got bitten, something like that. His pet? You'll know it when you see it. Trust me. He shudders, and now I'm even more intrigued. Somehow I'll have to find a way of meeting this pet. There's the pilot too. Now there's a pocket rocket, if I ever did see one. Too bad she wasn't a fan of the water tank plans I drew up. One of them, Kitolphans, you know, what I wouldn't give to see a full-blown space mermaid in all their watery glory. His mind drifts elsewhere, and when I clear my throat, he shrugs and shakes his head. She'll rather live like a lowly old human. Can see the sense in that, personally. Riona was the one who patched you up. You've met her, I'm guessing. Yeah, we've been introduced. She seemed lovely. Yeah, she is. She's, well, there's plenty I could say about her, but I'll save it for another time. His face changes as he talks about Riona. It becomes softer, somehow. Interested in her? I don't know. You've obviously met her. You obviously met me, the most handsome and talented engineer this side of Callias X. I would say that's all you need to know, but I'm sure there was someone else. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting someone? He holds a finger against his lips, and I can tell if he's serious or this is all just for dramatic effect. He snaps his fingers in front of me, grinning at me as we walk through a set of double doors. Oh yes, the assassin. Says he's a spy, but between you and me, I can see him sneaking up on me from a mile away. He leans in closer to whisper the last part, his eyes glinting with an unmistakable mischief. He's always lurking in the shadows, playing with his knives. You know, this one time, I swear, I saw him. Saw me what? Ah! Damon. Hey, I was just telling the newbie here all about our happy little crew. Delightful. Please, don't let me stop you. You know what? I think I hear the captain calling my name. What's that, Cap? Bash is already halfway across the bridge before I have the chance to say goodbye, leaving me standing on my own at the entrance. Well, not entirely on my own, as Damon is still leaning nonchalantly against the wall next to me. I spare him a nervous glance, my skin prickling under his cold stare. The way he's looking me over makes me feel like I'm not so much a guest on this ship, but his prey. Trying to ignore his unnerving presence, I survey the front of the ship. The room is spacious. Control panels spread across the front, 2 seats for the pilot and co-pilot surrounded by a domed window and a cluster of seats behind them. I step forward to see through the window up ahead, the view of Ciliota. It's kind of hard to see these names. Ciliota is even more breathtaking from here. I have no idea which planet we are currently passing, but somehow it makes me feel unnervingly small, a tiny, insignificant speck alone in this vast galaxy. The drifting sound of arguing reaches me, and a couple of people I don't recognize, coupled with June and Bash, pace about the room. Over the grinding of engines and the whirl of electronics, I can't quite make out what they are saying, but when I feel a slinking presence beside me, dark and ominous and entirely dangerous, it doesn't matter anyway. The skin of the back of my neck prickles. Everyone I've met so far has been welcoming in their own way, but this man, Damon, Bash called him, feels anything but that. My eyes flick to the side and I know, even before I see that, he's watching me. Join the others, hang back. I want to be fearless because I don't know what's going on here, and I don't want to show that I'm scared of things because I don't know what's going on here. So I'm going to hang back. I'm going to see if he's going to say something to me. On second thought, it might not be such a good idea to barge into the middle of a debate between people I don't know. Yeah, but my idea was not actually that. On a ship I don't belong on, in the middle of nowhere. Tension hangs in the air so thick you could cut it with a blade. I see now that any interruption would be less than welcome. Good to know you are not as dumb as you look. A silky voice startles me, and I turn to find Damon standing closer than I had expected, staring me down through cold, calculated eyes. He speaks with a tone that leaves me unsure of his intention, and holds a thin blade between his forefinger and thumb, seething it quickly upon catching my wondering eyes. And here I thought, after we found you smack dab in the middle of an attack on the royal palace, that you were a total write-off. Maybe I was wrong. I stare at him dumbly, baffled by the way he exudes so much charm, yet comes off so utterly disrespectful, all at the same time. Tall, dark, and handsome is an understatement for the man in front of me, but there's something else too. Something venomous lingering behind that wolfish smile, something that seems almost cruel in comparison to the beauty of the rest of him. Damon lets out a long, dramatic sigh as he sizes me up. No, something about your slack jaw and half-witted stare tells me I most certainly wasn't. Well, like, okay, excuse me. Did I ask for your opinion? No, I'm not going to give the satisfaction. Say nothing. I ignore him, content to be the bigger person. I don't know him, and he doesn't know me, so his stupid remarks don't mean a thing. Hello? Anyone at home, upstairs, or did dogs scramble your brain while the lights were out? He steps closer at the same time I step back from him, keeping the distance between us and shaking some sense back into my brain. Leave me alone. Can't you see that I'm still processing all of this shit? You're not helping. He huffs a laugh and I find myself, that must be that. And I find myself wondering what exactly he finds funny about the situation. Better process quickly, sweetheart. I can't promise things are going to get any easier for you. With a scoff, I turn to leave the bridge, thoroughly done with both this conversation and with Damon himself. Where are you going? A silky voice stops me in my tracks, and when I turn to Damon, he's studying me curiously as if I were some specimen in a lab. Back to my room. But we've only just started having fun. He pushes himself away from the wall and steps toward me with an unnatural feline grace. You know what else I'm good at? Finding out what people want. What they really want. What is it that you truly desire, Irina? His voice still holds what seems to be a perpetually snarky undertone, but something about his questions makes my blood run cold. Regaining my memory would be a good start. Yeah, I would say exactly the same. That's too easy. He rolls his cold blue eyes at me, clearly unsatisfied with my answer. Yeah, of course. Everyone wants something. It's usually dark, twisted, and depraved, but it's what makes us who we are. So what do you want? I don't know. Nothing, really. Liar. His hooded eyes slide over me suggestively. His lips pulled up at one side. I'll find out what it is sooner or later. Leave me out of it. I'll like to see you try. Blush. Let's be a bit arrogant. You can try, but I doubt you'll get far. What makes you think I'll ever open up to you? What makes you think you wouldn't? He takes a step toward me and cocks his head to the side, the fluorescent lights of the ship casting shadows over his sharp features. Being near Damon feels like being stuck between opposite ends of a magnet. He pushes you away only to reel you back in again with the same fiery intensity. I don't move when his cool fingers grab my chin and tilt my face toward him, my body either unable or unwilling to distance itself from him. I'm always up for a challenge, if you are offering, of course. I hope you don't disappoint. I swallow around the lump in my throat, knowing I'm being lured into one of his traps, and yet unable to keep a conspiratorial grin from tugging at my lips. Damon pulls his button lip between his teeth, squeezing my chin just once before he drops his hand and relinquishes his hold. The ghost of his touch lingers, and I find myself quite unable to move, to breathe, to do anything other than stand here dumbly and pretend that my insides don't feel like they are slowly but surely caving inwards. Eventually, I clear my throat and awkwardly will my limbs to loosen. Damon chuckles at my attempt to compose myself, his eyes gleaming with the prospect of a challenge. I'm still lost in the moment when footsteps approach, heavy-set and clipped, and a gruff voice calls towards us. Is it a new person? Yeah, it is. Resner. Damon rolls his eyes and his lips curl into a smirk as he winks at me, blue eyes glinting with amusement. He steps back slowly, one foot behind the other, and slides his hands into his pockets, and he turns and grins in that infuriating way. Yes, dear? Is this really the time to be messing around? Damon gasps, holding a hand to his chest in mock offense. Messing around? Me? Why, Commander, I would never. You guys look so cozy over there, and, you know, I would never want to intrude. The Commander inhales sharply, shutting his eyes and pinching the bridge of his nose in clear annoyance. Why are you? He stops, fixing Damon with a dark stare, one that says, "Don't fuck with me," among other things. You know what? This isn't the time for your bullshit, Damon. I need you to go and do your thing, and tell Bash to get Oppo on the line. We'll be paying a visit. Yes, sir. Damon gives a mock salute, pulling on a pair of black leather gloves and looking thoroughly unimpressed at being interrupted. He turns back before he leaves the bridge, sparing a single glance over his shoulder. Don't wait up for me. I'm not sure which one of us he's speaking to, and in the end I decide I'd rather not know. With a thick swallow, I turn back to the other man, steeling myself against the wrath Damon so generously invoked in him. Damon was unnerving in his own kind of way, but this man is downright terrifying. Tall, rigid, and with a skull so intimidating it makes my blood run cold. Looks like the warm welcome ended with Bash. What are you doing here? Folding his arms over his broad chest, he stares me down, and I try my hardest not to shrink under his glacial glare. Excuse me? He lets out an exasperated huff of air, his sharp jaw tensing with his frustration. Look, I don't have time to babysit a stowaway. Do us all a favor and keep off the bridge, will you? Who do you think you are? I mean, he's the captain. What else am I supposed to do? Okay. You are supposed to go to your room, apparently. That's it. So, yeah, okay. I'm not going to make a fuss. I'm not the type. Okay. Oops, I click it a bit more. Okay. Why June decided to drag you onto this ship, I'll never know. Okay, it was the same thing. I blink at him stupidly, attempting to contemplate how exactly one man can be so obnoxious. Play nice now, Calderon. A feminine voice calls out from somewhere over to the side, but if anything, it only seems to make the captain even more annoyed. My eyes flick up over him involuntarily. He has the look of a soldier, strong jaw, stiff back, stick up his ass about a mile long. Look, I really don't have time for... Ayame? Is the name Ayame? Get the goddamn ship on course. We are not stopping by the Gitalfan ruins. I don't give a shit what time of the year it is. The woman barks something at him, and I back away slowly, thinking it's probably best to keep out of his way after all. I've barely made it 3 steps before he turns, sapphire eyes landing on me in a cold stare and freezing me in place. You are from Goldis. I am? Am I? The way he says it isn't a question, but it catches me off guard nonetheless. What? That's where we picked you up, right? Right. So tell me, do you really think this new guy in power, Zovak, is going to be any better than the greedy son of a bitch before him? A flash of anger passes over his features so quickly I would have missed it if I wasn't looking closely. My eyebrows knit together, confused. Maybe Riona was mistaken about my accident. I feel less like I've taken a blow to the head and more like I've been dropped into another galaxy entirely. I don't know. He sneers at me, his lips curled cruelly, and immediately I know I've struck a nerve. You don't know. Isn't that what all of you Goldians wanted? A fucking liberator. Back off, Captain. The woman Ayame warns him, her voice low, but with enough venom coating it to be threatening. Calderon snorts, ignoring her. How do I know you're not one of his lackeys? Maybe this whole memory loss ploy was a way to get on this ship. You think I wanted this? To not know who I am? I understand his part. He's the captain of the ship. He doesn't know who she is, and he's being cautious. Who knows what you'll say to worm your way into my crew? He takes a step toward me, and it's so intimidating that it takes everything I have not to move a muscle. You are unbelievable. And you are becoming a pain in my ass, so I'm going to ask you one last time. He points a finger at me, and I resist the urge to shove it away. Are you working for Jess Zovak? I don't want to say this because this is exactly how I feel about it, which is when I put myself in his position, I would be probably this type of person too. You know, I would be cautious because you don't know who is the person that is in front of you. And She might be a spy. She might be working with the enemy. You don't know, trying to seduce the crew members to get information. I understand him. So I don't think that he's being a douchebag. He's the captain. Okay, I kind of understand that. I cannot say yes because I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea what happens if I say yes. I don't know. So who is this Zovak guy? He's not going to like this answer, but the truth is, like, I don't know who he is. I don't even know who that person is. He closes his eyes and pinches the bridge of his nose tight, and I can almost see whatever shred of patience he had left wither and die. Yeah, I was expecting this. But I mean, I don't even know her story, so yeah. I don't know what else he expected me to say. I have no idea who this Zovak is. Just tell me what the hell you're doing on my ship. I got rescued. Someone brought me in here and I don't actually know why. Your guess is as good as mine. Sounds to me like I need to have a word with June about picking up strays. My chest heaves with anger, but I hold my tongue. He is the captain after all, even if his manners leave much to be desired. Yeah, as I said, I kind of understand his situation. He's the captain, so... Know this, until we reach our destination, all eyes will be on you. Okay, I think it's fair. I'm not your enemy. You don't need to be so paranoid. I don't even know. Are we enemies? Girl, what are you saying? We don't even know. We don't remember, right? I don't know. Maybe we are spies for that Zovak guy. I don't know. Paranoia is the least of my worries. Zovak is not a man to be thrilled with. Thrifled with. If you don't like him, then maybe he's not so bad. If you don't like him, maybe he's not so bad. Okay. It takes only a second to know that this was the wrong thing to say. It was. His lips curl back from his teeth, revealing a skull so venomous, my eyes widen. Not so bad. You think murder, deceit, and radicalism is not so bad. Sometimes in a society you need some kind of radicalism. Okay, sometimes you need that. It depends where that society is going, you know, and the political thing in it. His growl echoes straight through me, and I inhaled sharply, meeting him head-on. Zovak, the bastard who forced the Crown Council to name him king. Okay. But not before killing the entire royal family. Okay. But we don't know the Zovak situation, or even the political situation in there either, so I don't want to comment about it. Think about that, will you? King Ferris, the 3 queens and their 11 children murdered. Were they good people? Were they sustaining a good political system in there? I don't know. You know? Were they putting people into slavery? Were they tyrannical? We don't know reasons. You know, we don't know. That's why I'm the type of person that, when it comes to this, I'm the type of person who is always like trying to see both sides. I don't like to misjudge from the beginning. I always try to think, okay, it is bad, murdering and deceiving and all of it is like, but what was the situation in there? firstly and foremost. His eyes are blazing, the fury made obvious by the growl in his voice and the flush of his skin. Now how about you tell me again how he's not so bad? I don't know. For fuck's sake, Caldron, have you really got to be a raging asshole 98% of the time? Oh, there's like a 2% in there that he isn't. She grabs Caldron by the arm, hoisting him back a step while she glares up at him. She's not responsible for the mess we're in. He fixes her with an equally hard stare, the tension between them palpable as he grits out from between clenched teeth. Set the course, now. Would it kill you to say please? Please. She rolls her eyes at him as she storms back to the cockpit controls. So, I don't know, is he a captain and pilot too, or is there like... Oh no, yeah, she is the pilot. I guess that's the pilot. Okay, he's the captain, she is the pilot. Because for a moment I was like, is she like the co-pilot or... Okay. The confusion must show on my face because when Caldron turns to me again, he lets out a defeated sigh, rubbing a hand over his face tiredly. You really don't remember anything? His voice is surprisingly gentle now, and I shake my head, unable to tear my gaze away from his. There's something about those eyes. Caldron's got a wall around him about a mile high. That much is obvious, but every now and then there's a flicker of something. If I didn't know better, I'll say it was sadness. He inhales sharply, the red flush of anger melting away as he waves a dismissive hand at me. Whatever, I've got shit to do. Head back to your room. It's yours for the time being. I'll have someone check on you later. I don't want to provoke him. I could just walk away. I don't want to be unpolite, so although it's a flirt thing, I'm going to agree. I'm still reeling after this confrontation, but there isn't any point in prolonging the argument. It's clear this man is as stubborn as a mule. Fine. Fine. Good. Great. We pause for a moment and stare at each other, and when he grins, there's something about it that catches me off guard and has me struggling to right myself. Good to see you have some common sense after all. I'm walking away now. Wait. What did you say your name was? I didn't, but it's Irina. He gives me a strange look, eyebrow quirked, and then he shakes his head as if deciding he doesn't care after all. Well, whomever you are, we'll be dropping you off in Terranian once we get there. I suggest you come up with a plan before then. The streets of Nos Vega are not kind to the unprepared. Well, thank you for warning me. Until then, unless you can do something useful, which I highly doubt, stay out of the way. He turns to leave the room, but not before giving me another once over, sizing me up. I stand there dumbly as I watch the captain leave the bridge, the sound of his heavy-set footsteps disappearing beneath the hiss of the closing door. Sorry about him. It isn't personal, if it helps. Okay, you don't need to apologize. It's okay. It felt personal. It didn't felt personal to me. She doesn't need to apologize, true, for him. I think it's okay. Because our protagonist may not understand, but I do understand why he's being cautious. With a heavy sigh, I tear my eyes away from the door and let my annoyance out in a slow exhale. It's okay, he was the one being horrible. Not you. He wasn't being horrible. Oh, woman. Like I said, I don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. He's like that with everyone at first. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but he's been through a lot. We all have. At least the rest of them didn't call me useless. Well, that is true, that he kinda said that. But once again, let me tell you, she is kinda useless when she doesn't remember nothing. Right? She is kinda useless. But I'm not going to dwell on it. I have enough problems on my plate, and despite one, or rather two bad eggs, I've been welcomed on this ship well enough. I'm just surprised at how easy you scared him off. What's the secret? She lets out a laugh, a light tinkle of a sound that has me smiling along with her. Just tell him to get lost and drag him down from his high horse. It's easy to get caught up in his bad attitude, but the trick is to not let it get to you. I attempt to smile, but I get the feeling that that's easier said than done. I'm already pretty caught up. A thought suddenly crosses my mind that perhaps Ayame and Caltron are more than just crewmates or friends. You felt that? They would certainly make an odd pair, but they do seem pretty close. Though the last thing I want is to pry. When it comes down to it, it's really none of my business. What's on your mind? I can hear the cogs turning from here. If you want to ask me something, go ahead, I won't bite. Unless you want me to. Are we not going to answer because we want her to bite us? Okay, let's ask her. It's nothing really. I was just wondering if, you and the captain seem close. Are you two? My voice trails off at the expression on her face, one that shifts from careless confidence into something of utter disbelief. Ugh. You want to know if we're a thing? A laugh escapes her, one that I would dare say borders on hysterical. I watch as she runs a hand through her hair, drawing my attention to the gear attached to the side of her head. It looks like advanced tech, but what really catches my eye are the thin gills on the sides of her neck, moving ever so slightly with each breath she takes. Yeah, she's probably like the third one, the Kiltarians, whatever? What? I don't remember the names. I think they were like able to breathe in water, inside the water. I don't know. She's Kitolfin. That's it. We're definitely not a couple. Never. You. Gross. She makes a gagging sound before snorting with laughter, once again. He's more like a lame older brother. We were in Orsana's car together, and we've looked out for each other for as long as I can remember. Oh. That makes a lot of more sense, actually. I feel a little foolish at having thought otherwise. Hang on, you really asked me if I'm single before we've even properly been introduced? She's kind of like... She's more like optimist too, like Bash. She's kind of more like that, apparently. More open-minded. And I thought I was the bold one. Her grin widens, and I open my mouth to protest, only to realize that there's no argument. I did ask her relationship status before introducing myself. This is awkward. My name's Ayame, though I'm sure you've already guessed that. By the way, Carl was shouting it at me earlier, so he has like a nickname, Carl. But please call me Aya. Ayame just sounds so cauldron, don't you think? Like, oh, I like nicknames. I didn't mean to be rude. I asked the important questions first. Being flirty, okay. So, if you want to be flirty, but be more like the confident type of flirty, you use this one. If you want to be like the more shy type of flirty, you use this one. I don't actually care if we're going for a guy or a girl. Honestly, I don't care. I myself, I'm straight, but when I'm playing games, I don't actually care if I'm going to be dating a guy or a girl. And what I want to say is that I'm saying this because I want you to understand that I'm not flirting with this one or the other one because I like them most. By now, I cannot say whom might be more like my love interest, to be honest. I still don't know. So I'm going more by what I probably would say between the choices that we have, of course, than actually thinking about, no, I'm going to be flirty with this one and the other one. So it has nothing to do with her being a female. It's more that like I don't feel like I want to say any of these two. So I'm just going to tell her, like, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. The only thing that comes to mind is how rude it was of me to start asking about her personal life without even introducing myself. Yeah, this is what I would actually say. I wouldn't be like flirty about it. I would just feel like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. It's nice to meet you, Aya. I'm Irina. I smile at her and extend a hand, which she shakes while chuckling quietly. I was only teasing you, don't sweat it. Yeah, I understood that. Besides, I noticed I'm not your type. Really? I don't know. I don't know, sweetie, honestly. I like the teasing ones. I do. What does that mean? Oh, nothing. It's nice to meet you too, Irina, and hey, if you ever need a bodyguard around here, I'm available for hire. If Carl ever gives you shit again, let me know and I'll show you how to knock him on his ass. I'm actually thinking right now. Could it be locked because I put it she and now the females are locked to me? I don't actually know, to be honest. Let me tell you, I don't know much about these games. I just do the demos and that's it. I didn't investigate much about it. But I don't actually know. I'm telling you that you can date whomever you want, yeah, sure. But I don't know if that thing of picking if you are a she or he or they, if it's going to soft lock the type of Ellies that you're going to get in here. Honestly, I don't know. She wiggles her eyebrows and grins at me, mischief brightening her violet eyes. I return the smile she gives me, but thinking about that, however, brings back the memory of Cauldron and his ultimatum, and it quickly fades. I hardly know the people on this ship, but somehow the thought of being alone out there in the world, not knowing where I came from, is nothing short of terrifying. Hey, what killed your mood? June filled us all in on what was happening. Oh, mouthful in here. June filled us all in what was happening with you. This on in here is kind of like awkward. June filled us all in what happened with you. I'm sorry, by the way. Maybe it's me that I'm not being able to read this phrase in the correct way. Did you just remember something? I wish. No, I'm just not sure how much longer I'll be here. Why is that? You got someplace to go? No, not particularly. The captain made it very clear that I'll be on my own once we get to Tyrannium. Aya's eyebrows shot up and she stares at me, a mixture of shock and anger twisting her features. What? He said he's dropping you off in Tyrannium? Tyrannium? Yes, it's your next stop, isn't it? It is, but do you know anyone in Tyrannium? Got any place to go? Any plans? I shake my head over and over in answer to her questions. My past is still very much a blur, and these people are the only ones I remember knowing. With an exasperated huff, Aya throws her hands in the air, pacing the floor in front of me. Is he out of his freaking mind? No, he must have completely lost it now. It's okay, Aya. I can take care of myself. I'll ask around and get a job or something to keep me going while I try to get my life in order. I try to reassure her because the last thing I want is to cause trouble for one of the few people who have been so kind to me. This crew has already saved my life. It doesn't seem right to ask for any more from them than that. Aya stops pacing, pulling her button lip between her teeth as she turns to me. It's not fine. A job in Tyrannium? Fending for yourself in that place when you don't even know your last name? She puts a hand on my shoulder and looks me dead in the eye. At once I begin to understand a little of how she manages to keep a pair like Damon and Cauldron in check. Well, she's more, from what we've been seeing, she is more the emotional type, while Cauldron is more the logical type. That's for sure. Look, don't worry about it. I'm not going to let that dumbass leave you stranded in. She stops at the sound of the opening door and the sight of the figure who steps onto the bridge with us. Irina, what are you doing here? Didn't I tell you to get some rest? Yes, she did. Oops. I'm startled by the hardness of Riona's tone, turning to find the medic staring at me. with her hands on her hips and her foot tapping expectantly. What's all the fuss about? Sorry, we were talking and then I found out some dumbass is thinking of doing something even more dumber. I lost my cool, right? Riona's expression softens as her gaze settles on Aya. Then you go and deal with it, Aya, but please don't drag Irina along with you. She needs to rest if she has any hope of recovering her memories. You better do what Riona says. You don't want to see her when she's mad. Ayame smiles at me sheepishly, giving my arm a quick, affectionate squeeze before she heads towards the door. Hi, Doc. I'm on it. Her footsteps fade as she leaves, and when Riona turns to me, I brace myself. You should be resting, Irina. Come on, I'll show you to your room. Her smile is soft, but the firmness of her voice makes it clear that I don't have a choice in the matter, answering only with a small smile on my own. I follow her from the bridge. Riona safely delivers me to my room with a promise to check in on me later, and I promptly fall down onto the bed with a sigh. My body is still aching enough to be a bother, and the time I've spent traipsing, I don't actually know this word, to be honest, traipsing around the ship hasn't done me any favors. Like, I can't understand what the word means, but it's probably like the first time I'm seeing it, being honest. I didn't notice it so much at the time, but now that I'm here, resting doesn't sound half bad. Time passes, and after what feels like hours laying in bed, tossing and turning as I attempt to get some sleep, I eventually give up. I sit on the side of the bed and sigh, my mind stuck in an endless, exhausting loop. The harder I try to think about my past, the harder my brain seems to rebel against me. Nothing feels right, nothing at all. And on top of all that, I need to come up with a plan for when we get to Terranium. I don't remember much of the Junker planet, but I know it sure as hell is not the kind of place you want to wind up alone. Gambling dens, arenas, bars, strip clubs. What exactly am I supposed to do in a place like that? I'm startled by a knock on the door, and with a sigh, I push myself to my feet and cross the room to answer it. When I hit the panel to open the door, I find myself face to face with... Okay. Ayame? Bash? Caldron? Damon? Will this determine which route we are going to take from here? I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually know. Let's start with June. I don't know. It's been a while, right? Hey, June. He stands in front of me, hands tucked in his pocket and a warm smile on his face. It's not that he interests me. Okay, I was like, okay, it's been a while. Let's get him. Just that. I think it's too much soon for me to tell you which one I would prefer, because honestly, I do not think that there is the specific type that I appreciate, but I can tell you that it's very hard for me to get the type that I'm always looking for. Okay, so let's put it like that. Irina, I'm sorry to bother you this late, but I wanted to check it on you. Oh, that's nice of you. Do you want to come in? Jude nods and steps into the room, and as I take a seat on the edge of the bed, he finds the same chair from earlier today and sits. It strikes me how different the feeling is between us now. Earlier, I had been terrified of him, not knowing who he was or why I was here. Now I know that I'm here because he saved me. I'm sorry I couldn't come earlier. It's been pretty crazy around here. You don't have to apologize. I could tell things were busy. Besides, I've been fine. I'm guessing that means no new memories came back? I shake my head regretfully, and he gives me an apologetic smile. But what about you? Is everything okay with the ship? Oh, that. I told you they were technical issues. Maybe they are more structural than technical, but it's handled. I'm sorry I dismissed your question about it earlier, but I really didn't want you to worry. Not after everything you've been through. It's all right, I understand. I'm just glad that it's all okay. It's impossible not to smile at his ability to put me at ease, and I have to admit that his presence is comforting. We'll have to pick up some new parts of terranium, but it'll be just fine. I nod and then I hesitate, thinking of the words that I really want to say to him. I suppose it's now or never. June, there's something I want to say to you. Is there? Okay. Oh? Okay, I really just wanted to say thank you. Thank you? What for? Everything. I mean, it's true. He was the one, apparently, that decided to save her and bring her into the ship, right? Everything, saving my life for starters, and it meant a lot to wake up to a friendly face when I had no clue what was going on. June smiles, and there's something so gentle about it that it manages to catch me off guard. I wish I could say more, to let him know I'm fine, that I will be fine, and that I'll hate to be a burden to the person who helped me remember my own name. There's no need to thank me for that, Irina. I did what anyone should, simple as that. And I'm glad that you pulled through. Which reminds me, I've got something for you. June pulls out a small metal object from his pocket and hands it over to me. You had this in your pocket when I found you. Oh, I thought you might want it back. What is it? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I reach out for the object, feeling the cool touch of metal against my fingertips. June shakes his head, leaning forward to admire the way the light bounces off its surface when I roll it in my hand. Not a clue, but it seemed important. Aya and Bash took a look at it. Everyone did, really, but all we recognized is the metal. It's Kitalphanite, and it's extremely rare and valuable. Did I had something with Kitalphan? I don't know their names. I'm only partially listening to June now, mesmerized instead by the small sphere in my hand. There's a kind of power about it, some low, thrumming energy that runs over my skin, desperate for release. Everything about it feels familiar. It feels like a secret. As if guided by some distant memory, I close my palm over the sphere, squeezing once before releasing it slowly. The shock on June's face must be a precise mirror of my own as we both stare at the open lid, revealing its contents and flooding the room with a memory. The first few notes of a tune tinkle from the sphere as it opens, and my eyes snap to June's, his face just as dumbfounded as my own. It's a music box. The inside of the sphere is an intricate maze of moving cogs and soft blue lights. My eyes are mesmerized by the movement as it plays its slow, sad lullaby. The tinkling notes of the song echo through the room, each as hauntingly familiar as the last. It's almost cruel how it caresses the edges of my memories, taunting me to remember faces and names that are no longer there. My heart fills with hopelessness, my teeth clenched tight in frustration, and it's only when I feel a tear slip over my lips that I realize I'm crying. But why am I crying? The music box hasn't triggered any memories in me, only a feeling. A sadness and longing so strong it makes my heart ache. The melody ends, and for a long time after, neither of us says a word. Eventually, June breaks the silence, his voice barely more than a whisper. Do you remember anything? I blink a couple of times to clear the tears from my eyes and focus instead on the man in front of me. He holds my gaze with his own, warm and gentle. I swallow around the lump in my throat, and though it pains me, I'm forced to shake my head. He seems more the trusting guy, apparently. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So, let's tell him. There was something there, not a memory, but a feeling. I don't think that the music box was mine, but whoever owned it, they were special to me, okay. The words stick in my throat and I hesitate. I wish I could remember more than that, but there's nothing else. Nothing at all. June must see my sadness because he places a warm hand over mine and gently closes the music box with a soft click. It pulses in my hand, its sad, sweet melody still echoing through me. Give it time, Irina. That's a good start. June's face falls suddenly, his hand involuntarily squeezing mine around the music box. I hate to put this into your head, but what if it's best you don't remember? Yeah, sometimes it's best. It's sad though. I don't understand what you are saying. I just feel like some pasts are worth forgetting. What if yours is one of those? One of them. My eyes travel to the music box, held tightly between our hands. The one and only teeter I have left on my past. I think it was like that. No, there must be something that makes it worth remembering. June drops his hand at once, as though he can feel my eyes upon it. A shadow passes across his face, dark and ominous. I hope so, I really do. Taking a deep breath, he stands and runs a hand through his hair. He blinks a couple of times and the darkness dissipates, leaving only that warm and familiar smile. I'll better get going. I wouldn't want anyone to see me coming out of your room so late. Sure. Oh, why not? June opens and closes his mouth a couple of times before managing a soft chuckle. The crew would never believe we were just chatting, and they'll never let us hear the end of it. Not that I'll mind, but I'll hate to leave you wide open to their teasing. They can be relentless. Oh. I enjoyed spending time with you, Irina. Same here. It's too bad we won't see any more of each other. The captain plans to kick me out on Terranium. My voice trails off as the prospect of being alone in that place hits me, and I only look up again when the weight of June's hand settles on my shoulder. Is that where you want to be? Not particularly. Then you leave that to me. I have a favor or two to call in with Caldron. He won't be kicking you out anywhere. My mouth drops at realization that for the second time, June has completely saved my skin. If you need anything, I'm just down the hall. Oh, I wouldn't want to bother you. Bother me anytime you like. June leaves me with a small smile, and with a heavy sigh, I drop down on my bed and hold the music box above me. The metal glints in the fluorescent light, and I vaguely recall hearing of Kitalphanite before. It was found on the planet before it was destroyed, mined from deep below the watery surface in the ocean caves. I mean, it would be kind of weird to have like a music box in like under the water. Do you understand? Like, cause a music box working underwater is just. Maybe this one works. I don't know. That would explain its pearlescent shine. It really is a beautiful object. Yeah, maybe it does work underwater or something. Maybe it's like different from the ones we imagine. Why do you feel so familiar? I speak out loud with no one around to hear me, and then I squint as something catches my eye within the intricate detailing. There's an engraving on it, NLP. I actually saw it, yeah. What does it mean? Feeling the gentle lull of sleep begin to weigh on me, I decide the question can wait. Opening the music box once again, I set it beside me on the bed, watching the dance of the lights and gears as the tinkling memory soothes me. My eyes grow heavy, so heavy, and I'm pulled under the weight of my exhaustion. Wavering on the brink of dreams and reality, I hear it. A sweet, strong voice, familiar, so familiar. Be strong, Irina, be strong. You are a fighter. survivor. The day where I have to leave you will come sooner than we both know. Promise me you won't give up. Who are you? Why can't I remember you? Why does it feel like I miss you when I don't remember? I'm sorry, little one. I miss you too. Oh, it's an answer. It's not just talking. It's an answer. You know, it's a monologue. I mean, it's an answer. So, end of episode 1. Oh, maybe it only has like 1 episode, because I heard that they have like 8 chapters. And I was a bit like thinking, oh my god, this is going to be one of those demos that are kind of like never-ending ones. Yeah, but it's good. It's good because, you know, I don't want to strain too much my voice. And the other one took me like almost 5 hours. And I don't want to be straining my voice after the 25 hours I passed with the other one. Yeah, nope. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was very interesting. Yes, it has issues for me in terms of graphics. And you know what I mean. It's the text box, mainly. But the story is kind of interesting. The guys and girls, of course, they are all very interesting too. And yeah, I mean, if you like it too, why not just check it out and see if you like it or not. This is still it's still in early access, I think, so it's probably going to take some time to get released. But I'm going to put the details in the comments, so you know where you can play the demo and try this game too. Thank you very much.